Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Mahabharata character series. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing the fascinating characters of Mahabharata, and we are continuing our discussions on the character of Arjuna. So last class we discussed how Arjuna, he had a stunning victory in the battle at Virat, and how he defeated all the powerful warriors, Bhishma, Drona, Duryodhan, Karna, all the big warriors, they were there. And Arjuna single-handedly he went, and Bhuminjay, the Uttar Kumar, he was the chariot driver, and he defeated everyone. Bhuminjay was awestruck. He had never seen such hair-raising battle, and he was praising Arjuna like anything. So after Duryodhan he left, so Arjuna he blew his conch shell of victory, and Arjuna said, he told Bhuminjay that please don't reveal my identity to anyone now. I know that exile is over, but let Yudhishthir decide when we should reveal our identity. So don't tell that I defeated the army. So Bhuminjay said, Are, so people will ask me, and I cannot say that I have defeated, because it is not possible for me to defeat such a powerful army. How can I tell a lie? So Arjuna says, okay, you just tell that a Gandharva came and he helped you, but you don't reveal our identity. And then they came back. As they were coming, Arjuna remembered that Uttara and other ladies, they had requested that please get the ornaments of the warriors and the headsets and all the crowns. So Arjuna he took all the ornaments of the warriors who were dead, and they both came back. Before going back, Arjuna went to Shamik tree, and then again he kept his Gandiva there, and he came back along with Bhuminjay. And then on the other side, Kauravas, they were completely devastated to see Arjuna, and that too defeated by Arjuna. Just like Hanuman, he showed his prowess in Lanka, burned the entire Lanka single-handedly. Similarly, in this case, Arjuna single-handedly he defeated all the powerful warriors. The who is who of the Kuru dynasty were there. They were all defeated. But in spite of everything, Duryodhan, he was so obstinate that he was not ready to listen. He still was not able to accept that no, we cannot win. So it is very interesting that obstinate people, those who are intoxicated by their wealth, they will never understand good instructions. So it is very difficult for them. So therefore it is said, there is a Subhashit which says that one should not give good instructions to a fool, because he will just retaliate back. Just like a snake, if he is given milk, it will increase the poison. Similarly, one should not give good instructions to a fool. Upadesho hi murkhanam prakopaya na shantaye. It makes them angry. They become more angry hearing good instructions. So Duryodhan, he became so angry, he was frustrated because all his attempts were destroyed. He wanted to send Pandavas back to forest for 12 years again, but his plan was foiled. So Arjuna, he came back with Bhuminjay, and although Arjuna had such an amazing victory that didn't make him intoxicated. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Matra sparshastu kaunteya, sheet ushna sukha dukkhada, agama apayino anitya tam titikshasva bharata. You have to learn to tolerate happiness, distress, heat, cold, even victory and defeat. This is the first instruction which Arjuna is getting from Krishna: tolerate. So it is easy to understand that, okay, we have to tolerate our problems and distress. How to tolerate happiness and why to tolerate happiness? What is the need for tolerating happiness? Because it is a wonderful experience. What is the meaning of tolerating it? We don't tolerate happiness. We just enjoy. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells these instructions again and again. Equanimity of mind is the most important basic concept of spiritual life. And it comes again and again in Bhagavad Gita. Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayo. You should be equipoised. Tulya mitrari pakshayo anapamanayo tulya. Equipoised, equal vision. Don't get too much disturbed. There is nothing in this world, which should make us too frustrated. And there is nothing which should make us too happy. Because everything in this world is temporary. Nothing lasts. Ashashvata. So therefore, a sober-minded, spiritual-minded person should not get so much elated when he is happy. Because most of the mistakes happen when we are happy. Because we forget our discrimination. We are indulging so much in enjoying that we forget our intelligence, discrimination power. Therefore, it is said that one should not take decisions when one is too happy or when one is too sad. That is most important. And similarly, it is said that you should not send messages. You should not reply to messages when you are too happy and too sad. Because these messages, by default, you will regret later why I sent that message. So better or best is, just type the message, don't send it. Or mails. So Bhuminjay, as he was coming back with Arjuna, he sent his men to announce his victory. And on the other hand, Virat, king, he entered the kingdom along with the Pandavas because they were fighting with Shusharma, the king of Trigarta. And Bhima, he protected Virat, king, otherwise, he was about to be killed. So he came back and he was so very happy, elated. He sat on the throne and he asked, where is Uttar Kumar? He asked about his son. So the ladies of the palace, they told everything that, on the other side, all the Gaur was attacked, and then Bhuminjay had to go with Brihannalla. So king, he was so unhappy. He said, oh my God, Brihannalla is driving the chariot of Bhuminjay. Immediately I have to send my army to protect Bhuminjay, because how I don't think he'll be alive after a eunuch becoming his chariot driver. So as Virat king, he was saying all this, Yudhishthir, Kanka, he said, oh king, if Brihannalla is driving the chariot, you don't worry about it. The Kauravas won't be able to win over. They won't be able to take the cows if Brihannalla is driving the chariot. And king was a little annoyed hearing all this. But still he didn't say anything. And as they were discussing, the messengers came. And they told that, oh king, your son has won the war. And hearing this, king became so happy. Oh, great, he's my son. Of course I was expecting this. And he told Sairendri, you get the dice. I want to play gambling. I want to play this dice game. I'm so happy. Yudhishthir again said, O king, when one is too happy or too sad, one should not play dice. But the king, he didn't listen, and the game started. And as he was playing, in between, he kept on glorifying his son and Kanka. Yudhishthir Maharaj, again he said, O king, if Brihannala is the chariot driver, then victory has to be there. This time, king could not tolerate. He said, you are, and he became so angry. He said, you are comparing my son with that eunuch? You don't know how to speak. If you're not a Brahmana, I would have killed you. But because you are my friend and you are a Brahmana, I'll forgive you for this. But please don't repeat this again. He became so angry. And Yudhishthir, he was also so strong. He said, O king, where there is Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Ashwathama, Karna, Duryodhan, who else but Brihannala can face them? Only he can face them. And no one else. Even if somebody is surrounded by devatas, nobody can face these warriors apart from Brihannala. Now it was intolerable for the king. He became so angry. He took the dice and he hit this Kanka, and it hit on his nose, and the blood started coming out. And it was about to fall on the ground. Sairendri ran and brought a vessel and didn't allow the blood to fall on the ground. And as all these things were happening, Bhuminjay, he entered the palace. So Kanka, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he told, he told that messenger, you go and you tell Bhuminjay to come alone. Don't get Brihannala here now. Otherwise, if he sees my blood coming out, he'll kill everyone. Because in the past, Arjuna had taken a vow that anyone, apart from the battlefield, anyone, if he makes the blood of Yudhishthir Maharaj come out of his body, I'll kill him. That was the vow of Arjuna. He had such thick and intense love for Yudhishthir Maharaj. He could not tolerate anyone, hurting Yudhishthir Maharaj. So messenger came and told Bhuminjay that you please come alone and let Brihannala wait for some time. So Bhuminjay entered the palace and he saw that, this blood is coming from the nose of Kanka. He said, Oh Brahmana, who has done this to you? Such a sinful thing. So king, he said, I have punished him. I was glorifying you and he was comparing you with that eunuch. I could not tolerate it. So Bhuminjay said, O king, he's telling his father. It is very interesting. He's telling his father, O king, please ask forgiveness. Please ask forgiveness from this Brahmana, otherwise the wrath of Brahmana will destroy our entire dynasty. And interestingly, king, he heard the good advice, he accepted the good advice and asked forgiveness. That is a saintly quality. One should accept good advice no matter who is giving. He didn't say, oh, you are my son, you are giving me advice. He accepted it. That is the difference between a saintly person and a demoniac person. A saintly person, a demoniac person can never accept a good advice. A sinful person, he never realizes that he has done a mistake. He always thinks, oh, I have not done anything wrong. Therefore, he is called as Dushkriti. He is a miscreant. And he will never accept a good advice. On top of that, he will tell, oh, you are giving me good instructions. And he will harm that person who is giving good instructions. But a saintly person, he is characterized by, having a sober intelligence. If he gets a good instruction from anyone, he accepts it. Just like in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a story of this Brahmana, Avadhut Brahmana, and he was getting instructions from so many of the people, and many of them they didn't even talk to him, and he was taking lessons from many things of the nature. He was taking lessons from mountains, from rivers, from trees. That is a saintly person. He is interested in taking the essence from wherever it is available. He never minds, oh, how can I take instruction from this person? He's of a lower category and I am such a high class person. It is said that, Srila Prabhupada, he would tell, one should accept gold even if it is found in, refuse or stool, because gold never loses its, value. It's always valuable. So therefore, good instructions, they are like gold. We should be ready to accept the good instructions, whoever is giving it. We should not see the background of the person. Oh, he's from a low caste, or he's a poor person. No. If good instruction is coming, we should accept it. So Yudhishthir, when this king, he asked forgiveness, Yudhishthir said, "O king, I have already forgiven you because I have taken a vow of forgiveness." That is something amazing. To forgive is the most difficult thing. If somebody does wrong to us, one 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 category is the person who never forgets, never forgives, and takes the revenge. Little higher is a person who just forgets it. He can't forgive, but he forgets. So chodo, and I'll not think about it. But the highest is somebody forgives and forgets. So Yudhishthira said, I have taken a vow of forgiveness. I have already forgiven you, O king. But let me tell you, if my blood would have fallen on the ground, your entire kingdom would have been destroyed. And this was another shock for this king. And later he told that, Arjuna has taken a vow. He cannot see my blood coming out. So, after some time, the blood stopped, and then Brihanalla was called in. So he entered and he offered respects to everyone, including Kanka, Yudhishthira Maharaj. And the king, he asked his son, "Oh son, I am so proud of you. Single-handedly, you have defeated such powerful warriors. Please tell me how you fought with them. Big warriors, Bhishma, Drona, Kripa." So Bhuminja said, "Oh father, should I tell you the truth? I didn't defeat them. I was fearful. I was running away from the battle. But one Gandharva came and he helped me." So Bhuminja, so king asked, "Who was that Gandharva?" So the Uttar Kumari said, "He'll appear. He may appear in few days. Just wait." And then, all the Pandavas, they left and they planned to reveal their identity. So from the third day, from that day, they took bath, dressed themselves in all royal clothes, and they all entered the assembly of Virat. And they were looking like very powerful, majestic kings. And Virat king was not there. So Yudhishthir, he went and sat on the throne, which was made for the kings. Many kings, they would come, so they had a separate place. So Virat king, he entered and he saw Yudhishthir sitting on a royal throne. He became so angry and said, "I made you my advisor and you are sitting on the king's throne. How can you dare to do this?" So Arjuna, he laughed. He said, "O king, He is qualified to sit on the throne of Indra. And he is, who is he? He is Dharma personified. He has all the powerful kings under his subjugation. He is not an ordinary person. He is an Atirathi warrior, very, very powerful. He is rich like Kuvera. He is Dharma personified, religion personified. He is like Manu. And he was glorifying. And then in the end, he said, he is Maharaj Yudhishthir, the best of the Kuru dynasty. And he said that, when he was in Hastinapur, when he was in Indraprasth, thousands of sutas and magdas and bandis, they're all professional reciters and people who would glorify the king. Thousands of them, they would come, and every day they would glorify Yudhishthir. And king was surprised to hear this. Said, if he is Yudhishthir, then where are other Pandavas? Where is Arjuna, Bhima, Nakul, Sahadev? Where is Draupadi? They have not been seen after 12 years of their Vanvas. Where are they? Then Arjuna introduced everyone. Introduced Bhim and Nakul and Sahadev. And then in the end he said, and I am Arjuna. You must have heard my name. He didn't tell anything about himself. That is a devotee. He never likes to glorify himself. And then Bhuminjay, he again introduced everyone. And he said that this Arjuna was that Gandharva who saved me. He fought the entire battle single-handedly and defeated everyone. Now the king was so very obliged and so very delighted to hear this. At the same time, he was feeling a little ashamed. I have treated all these people, in such a bad way for 1 year. These are most pious and religious and great devotees of the Lord. I didn't treat them properly. I should, compensate for my misbehavior, and now I have hit Yudhishthir also. So he was really feeling sad. So he told his son, oh son, I have offended them so much. I want to give something in return. I want to offer my daughter to Arjuna in marriage. That will be the atonement. In that way, I'll be satisfied and happy. So he said, the king said, my kingdom, so he told all the Pandavas, my kingdom now belongs to you all. I offer my everything to you, including my daughter. And Arjuna said, another wonderful feature of Arjuna is now coming here. Arjuna said, I will accept your daughter as my daughter-in-law, not my wife. So Virat was a little surprised. Why are you not accepting her as your wife? Arjuna said, if I accept your daughter as my wife, people will question our relationship. Because I have always seen your daughter as my daughter, and she has always treated me as father, and I have taught her, for 1 year I was staying in her chambers, and she has confided in me, she has trusted me, and if I marry her, people will doubt our relationship. And to avoid such a doubt, I will accept her as my daughter-in-law, because daughter-in-law is as good as daughter. And if I do that, then I'll be proven as a sense-controlled person. Nobody will doubt our relationship. O king, I am fearful of gossip. I am fearful of rumors. A Kshatriya is very, very fearful of bad reputation. And that is what Krishna told to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita also. Akirtim chapi bhutani kathayishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya chakirti maranadatirichyate. Arjuna was running away from the battlefield. He was telling, I don't want to fight, I'll go and beg. Krishna said, you are going away but out of goodwill, but people will not think the same. People will tell he ran away from the battle. and you will become infamous. Your reputation will be destroyed. Oh, Kirti, your fame will be destroyed. And for you, for a Kshatriya, infamy is worse than death. A person who is honored, dishonor is worse than death. So therefore, Arjuna is saying, I am very fearful of gossip and infamy. So I can't accept your daughter as my wife. If I accept her as my daughter-in-law, then people will give all the respects. So here Arjuna again gives the highest example of integrity, such strict adherence to dharma. He's not just thinking about himself, he's thinking about the entire dynasty, he's thinking about the Kshatriya race. If I do something wrong, people in the future, they will follow me. He's thinking about his reputation, because it is not just his reputation, it is the reputation of the Pandava dynasty. It is reputation of the entire Kuru race. And he knows that leadership should always be exemplary and pure in character. That is spiritual leadership. In today's age, a leader may do whatever he wants in his personal life, but if he is doing his administration properly, people don't mind. But that is not the case of spiritual leadership. And that's why Krishna was so very concerned to establish and make the pious, virtuous kings, virtuous people as the kings of the world. That's why he wanted Yudhishthir Maharaj to be the king. Because the role of leader is not just to protect the physical body, but to protect the spiritual consciousness also. That is more important. And if the leader is himself not following spiritual values, he himself doesn't have good character, no integrity, then how people will follow? That's why Arjuna was very, very careful. And therefore, the leaders have to be really very conscious. And many times they sacrifice their own personal interests for the welfare of people, welfare of citizens, for future generations. That's why Lord Ram banished Mother Sita. People, they question and blame Lord Ram. But Sita also understood this. She never questioned Lord Ram. She silently went to forest because she knew that Lord Ram is doing to set a right example. Because people in the future, they would take the name of Lord Ram and they would tell that, oh, Lord Ram can do it. He can keep a wife, which is who has spent 1 year in another man's home. I can also do that. I will also keep somebody. It was his responsibility. That's why, although he didn't want it, but still he had to take that very, very difficult decision. So Arjuna, he was very, very careful, and he said, no, I'll accept your daughter as my daughter-in-law. So Virat king, he accepted that proposal with great happiness. What can be the greater fortune than being, married to the son of Arjuna? So he was so very happy. And Yudhishthir Maharaj, he also acknowledged the relationship. Yes, it is very good that now we are making formal bonds with the Virat kingdom. It will increase our power also. So they sent invitations to all the various parts of the, India. And Krishna also came. Pandavas, for all this span of time, they continue to stay in the Virat kingdom at a place called Uplavya. And Krishna, he called Abhimanyu also, because Abhimanyu was the one who was about to marry Uttara. So Abhimanyu was staying with Krishna and all the Vrishni dynasty in Anartha province, along with Krishna and other Yadus. So he was called, and all the other kings came with huge armies. Everybody brought their armies, and the entire earth, it was like trembling with the powerful armies walking over with elephants and chariots and horses. And the entire marriage was performed with great pomp, and everybody was rejoicing to have such wonderful occasion. After the marriage was over, the next day, all the kings, they assembled in the assembly of Virat king. Of all the kings, Virat and Drupada, they were the eldest. So Drupada, the father of Draupadi, he also had come. So they took their throne, and then all the other kings, they sat down, and then Krishna got up and he started speaking. O kings, all of you know how much these Pandavas have suffered. You all know how Shakuni cheated Yudhishthir Maharaj in the gambling match, and then they were thrown for 12 years in the forest and 1 year Agyatavas, and you know how much they have suffered in the Agyatavas and 12 years of Vanvas. And to such an extent, the Kauravas were not satisfied with that. They tried to kill them, and they tried to humiliate them. Since childhood, Yudhishthir, Duryodhan wanted to kill Bhima, and so many times they have planned. You all know the truth. And now, Pandavas, they have lived according to Dharma for 12 years and 1 year of Agyatavas, and now they have become the proprietor to get the kingdom back. And if Kauravas, they don't give the kingdom back, Pandavas will fight and kill them. And he said, you may be thinking how Pandavas will defeat. They don't have much army, but don't think that Pandavas are weak. They will surely defeat. But before doing anything ahead, we should send a messenger and find out the intentions of Duryodhan. We should try to convince him to give half of the kingdom. We don't want full kingdom. Just we are satisfied with half of the kingdom only. So we can see here such a wonderful display of affection which the Lord has for his devotees. He is himself speaking on behalf of Pandavas. He is himself showing that how devotees are never defeated or lost. That's what Sanjay tells in Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruvani Tirmatirmama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all the mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, Tatra Shri Vijaya Dhruva Niti, there will surely be victory, morality, determination. It is impossible to be defeated if you have Krishna with you. So as devotees, we may lose some of the battles, but definitely we will win the war. We may not have to fight battles like Pandavas. We have to fight our internal battles. Everyone has to fight their internal battles with the temptations of the mind, temptations of the anger, envy, so many things. And we may lose it. For some time, some of the battles we may lose, but in the ultimate end, we will be victorious. That's what Krishna is giving assurance again and again. Badhyamanopi madbhakto vishayairajitendriyaha prayah pragalbhaya bhaktya vishayairna vibhuyate. Such a hope-giving verse it is. It comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna is himself telling our situation. Badhyamanopi madbhakto, my devotee, although he is conditioned, he is many times tempted, he is not able to come up to the right standards of spiritual life, devotional service. Vishayer ajitendriya, he is uncontrolled in his senses, but still prayah pragalbhaya bhaktya. But because my devotee is intense in his practices of Krishna consciousness, Vishaya Irna Bhupuyate, he will not be defeated. In the ultimate end, he will be victorious. So that's how Krishna, he personally orchestrates the life of his devotees. Nobody should have doubt about it. After coming to spiritual life, am I fighting this war alone? No, we have Krishna with us. The most powerful personality, Akhila Koti Brahmanda Nayak, Ishvara Parama Krishna, is there with us. Only one thing we have to do. We should be attentive in our spiritual practices, and we should be attentive in our dealings with other devotees. So after Krishna made his statement, Balramji got up and he said, "O kings, whatever Krishna has said is beneficial for Yudhishthir and Duryodhan. So surely we should send a messenger and find out. We should try to convince. But Yudhishthir is not completely faultless also. He was attached to gambling, and that's why he lost his kingdom. He could have stopped playing. Why he continued to bet all his resources? There is no fault of Shakuni, and but we should try our best. We should send a messenger." And as Balramji was saying all this, Satyaki got up so angry. He said, "It doesn't befit Balram to speak like this. Everybody knows how religious and pious, virtuous Dharmaraj Yudhishthir is. He is Dharma personified. Everyone knows that he didn't want to gamble, but he was forced to gamble because Yudhishthir had taken a vow. When Vyasadev, he once came and told Satyavati that in near future, there will be a war and the entire Kshatriya race will be destroyed apart from few remaining. Yudhishthir that time, he understood, he thought, why clashes happen when people, they don't follow their superiors. I take a vow that I will always follow the superior's orders. And Duryodhana, he took advantage of it. He sent a message through Yudhritarashtra, and that's why Yudhishthir had to come and do the gambling, and he was defeated unfairly. Shakuni was playing on behalf of Duryodhan. So Yudhishthir, he is the most saintly king, and we all know that how he has spent 13 years in the forest. Now there is no use begging for the kingdom. If they don't give the kingdom, we will fight back. I personally will fight and get the kingdom back. I will defeat all the Kauravas. There is no use of making a truce." So he was really angry. So here we see very interesting dynamics happening. Vedic culture doesn't tell that okay, you have to accept everyone's statements blindly. There is no scope of speaking our hearts. No, we can see who is speaking here. Satyaki, such a wonderful devotee, and speaking to whom? He's speaking to Balramji, and he's speaking about him. Balram, who is Balram? He's a supreme personality himself. So we can speak our hearts. We can question. In fact, to question is an integral part of the Vedic culture. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. We should not accept anything blindly. But the most important thing to understand is we can question the behavior of superiors also. But the most important thing is how to do it. Can superiors make mistake? Yes, of course. Anyone can make mistake. In this case, Balramji is supreme personality, but still, there is no fault in questioning the actions of Balramji if it is done in a right way, in a humble way. How to do it is most important. If you don't agree, we don't have to say yes, but there is a way to say no. We have to maintain all the etiquettes. We should not transgress the laws. That is the most important thing. We should present our case without offending anyone, without criticizing anyone, with all the respect, because etiquettes are most important in spiritual life. Many times, if somebody is not efficient in doing some service, he's allowed to stay in association and he's not told, oh, you go out, you are waste, you are useless, you are not doing anything. No, nobody will tell that devotee. But if he transgresses the etiquettes, then it will not be tolerated. That is the most important thing, Maryada. We have to follow the rules of etiquettes. We should never do Maryada Vyatikram. Never transgress the laws of rules of etiquette. That is most important thing in spiritual life. That will never be tolerated. So Satyaki, he very firmly maintaining all the respectful behavior, he presented his opinion. And Drupada, he also agreed with Satyaki. That is important, Drupada is the eldest person in the assembly. He agreed with Satyaki. He said, yes, whatever Satyaki is saying, we should not delay. And I don't think Duryodhana is going to return the kingdom. He's so obstinate, so sinful. We should do something. And for sure, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, they will support him. So I cannot accept the words of Balramji. We should do something. And then Drupada said, actually, it is foolishness to speak nice words to Duryodhana. Because a sinful person can never be controlled by good behavior. Very interesting. Drupada says this. A sinful person, if you think I will deal very gently and nicely with him and he will be controlled and he will melt, his heart will melt. No. His heart will never melt. Because a sinful person, a foolish person thinks that anyone who is speaking gently is weak. They never accept good instructions. Therefore, the principle is Shatho Shatyam. Shatho Shatyam. If the person is cunning, if the person is sinful, we cannot behave gently and straightforward way with them. We have to behave in a cunning way. Shatho Shatyam. So therefore he says, Drupada continued, he said, okay, we should send invitation to all the kings and invite everybody, Shalya, and we should invite Bhagadatta, Kritavarma, and for sure Duryodhan will also send his messengers. We should do it very quickly because the great kings, they accept the first invitation. Whoever goes to them first, they accept it. And he said, I have very qualified Brahmanas. They will go and they will try to find out the mentality of Duryodhan. So then Krishna got up. He said, okay, we have relationship with both Pandavas and Kauravas. So please allow us to leave. You all are very intelligent, Drupada, Virat King. You all are, so very intelligent and learned. You do the best and allow us to leave. We don't want to get into all this. We don't want to take sides on our own. So they both got up. Krishna and Balram, they got up and they took leave and they went to Dwarka. So Yudhishthir and Drupada, they sent the invitations to all the kings, and huge armies, they started coming in the Virat kingdom. Duryodhana also came to know that, oh, such powerful armies are coming. He also sent his messengers and he also started making allies with all the kings. And then Drupada, he sent his priest, his Purohit, to Hastinapur and said, please go and you glorify Yudhishthir Maharaj. And you tell what all austerities, what all suffering they have gone through. And you tell the reality of Duryodhan, you win the hearts of the ministers. And in this way, the ministers, in the assembly of Hastinapur, they will be divided into two groups. There'll be a disunity, and it will give us time to prepare for the battle. So in this way, this Brahmana also departed. After this, all this, now Arjuna, he himself went to Dwarka. Now this is another very, very instructive incident in the life of Arjuna, which shows how Arjuna is so very devoted and what is the importance of Krishna in the life of Arjuna. So he went to Dwarka. Duryodhana also came to know. He also reached Dwarka. Both reached Dwarka at the same time almost. Duryodhana came little early. That time Krishna was taking rest. And Duryodhana, because he came little early, he entered the chambers of Krishna and he saw that Krishna is taking rest. So he went, and there was a throne kept near the head side of Krishna, and he sat on that side near the head. That is an arrogant person, Generally, if you have gone to some person to ask for help, generally you behave in a little humble way. But when Krishna is not seeing, he could not express artificial humility. That is an arrogant person. And Duryodhana, he was so arrogant. It is said that even if he would walk in the sun, he would not allow even an umbrella to be above him. Because nothing should be above me. That was his conception. So he sat near the throne, near the head. And then Arjuna entered, and he was standing near the lotus feet of the Lord. And naturally, after some time, Krishna woke up. And it is natural that when you wake up, you'll see the person who is at the feet side first. So Krishna, he saw Arjuna. He said, "Oh, Arjuna, oh, I'm so very happy that you have come." And then Duryodhana, he also came ahead and he offered his obeisances, artificially showing his respect. So he said, "Oh, Duryodhana, you're also there." So he welcomed both of them, asked for their welfare, and asked for the reason of their arrival. Duryodhana spoke first. He said, "Oh, Madhava, I have come to ask for your help. And in the near future, there is a great battle which is going to happen between us and the sons of Pandu. I want you to help us. I have come here first." And it is a rule which great people follow, that they give help to the first person who comes. I have come here first. So please help me. And you are the greatest. Duryodhana is very expert in diplomatic behavior. He knows, how to use words. In Bhagavad Gita also we know that in the beginning, Duryodhana goes to Dronacharya and he says, "Pashyaitam Panduputranam." Just see, oh Dronacharya, just see the army made by the intelligent disciple of yours. Acharyam mahatim chamum vyudham drupada tava shishyena dhimata. Tava sishyena, your intelligent disciple has arranged this huge military formation. Be careful. He was very diplomatic in his words. He was trying to incite Dronacharya to fight. Most of the people in the world, they are like this. They glorify others to get their work done. I scratch your back till the time you scratch mine. And there is another very interesting subhashit. It says, "Ushtrasya vivaheshu gardhavasya gayanam parasparam prashanshanti aho rupam aho dhvani." Very interesting. He says, this subhashit says, one time there was a marriage of the camel going on, and he invited his friend donkey. Ushtrasya vivaheshu. And donkey, he came and he started singing in his sweet voice, braying. So camel, he's saying aho, and then he's glorifying the camel. Donkey is glorifying the camel in his poetry. Aho Rupam, oh, what beautiful you are looking. And then camel replied back, Aho Dhwani, what beautiful you are singing. You have such a beautiful throat. That is the reciprocation between people of the world. Both are glorifying each other for no reasons. So Duryodhan, typical worldly minded person, materialistic person, he is glorifying Krishna so that he can get some advantage. Krishna said, yeah, there is no doubt that you have come first, but I saw Arjuna first, you know. So I'll help both of you. And according to scriptures, the junior person should be given the first preference. So Arjuna is younger to you, so he is qualified to ask first. And then he says, look, I have a very, very powerful army of 10 crore warriors, and all of them are as powerful as myself. It is very, very interesting. The figures are really mind boggling. 10 crore warriors as powerful as Krishna on one side. So Krishna says, on one side, my army, who is ready to go and fight and defeat the opponents, and on the other side, I will be there. But I will not fight, I will not lift any weapon. You can choose. Oh Arjuna, you can choose. Immediately, without even thinking for a moment, Arjuna asked, to my lord, I want you. That is the glory of Arjuna. Such unflinching, intense faith. Who is Krishna? He can do anything for me. This is very, very important and instructive action which Arjuna is doing. He's choosing Krishna over the most powerful warriors of the world. 10 crore warriors, equally powerful as Krishna. But Arjuna said, no, I don't want them. I want you, O my Lord. People in this world, in this age, they choose the world and they give up God, thinking, what can God do? He's nowhere to be seen. I don't know whether he exists or not. Such questions, they arise in the mind of people who are so dull because they are enjoying all this ephemeral material enjoyment. Their intelligence have become dull. Because in the pursuit of happiness, just to get little bit of happiness, a drop of happiness, they have to struggle and suffer so much. And that's what scriptures say. Putra shisha shruti sukha mriga trishni rupa Vedam kalevaramashesharujam viroha nirvidyate natu jano yadapiti vidwan kamanalam madulavai shamayandurapai. Prahlad Maharaj is telling to Narasimhadev, oh my Lord, people in the world, they are struggling for being happy. But where is happiness in this world? Whatever we see is only the pleasure which we hear. Shruti Sukh. We hear, oh, there is pleasure available, and that gives the temptation. But there is very little pleasure available. It is like a drop of happiness, but an ocean of misery. So Arjuna, he had found faith that only Krishna can save me. Krishna can help me. He had found faith. He had the realization of who is Krishna. So he didn't even think for a moment. He didn't tell, oh, Krishna, let me think. I'll just give me a few minutes. I'll get back to you. No. He had firm faith. And that is the faith which we have to, cultivate. Fighting with the forces of material nature, fighting with the temptations of the world, where the entire world is on one side. And we think we are alone standing on the other side. And what I have is only Krishna. That gives doubt. But we forget who is Krishna. He is the supreme proprietor. He is Akhil Koti Brahmand Nayak. He is the Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Krishna says, I am the proprietor. Everything is coming from me. That faith is the foundation of steady devotional service. And that is what Arjuna is showing here. So Duryodhan, he was thinking, what a foolish person is this Arjuna is. He was thinking, what will Krishna do? And he is not even, ready to take weapons. What he will do? That's why, in Bhagavad Gita also, Kurukshetra, when Duryodhan, in the beginning of the first chapter, he's telling Dronacharya who all have assembled on the side of Pandavas. He says, oh, Bhima is there, Arjuna is there, Yudhishthir is there, so many powerful warriors, Drupado, Draupade, Yasha, Sarva Eva Maharatha. He doesn't even take the name of Krishna. Because he was thinking, what this Krishna will do? He's not even ready to lift the weapons. That is a typical material minded person who has no faith in Krishna, no faith in God. He has faith only in the material powers. And he doesn't realize that material powers don't last long. They're all fallible. So he was thinking, oh, this Arjuna is such a fool. And then, after he asked, Duryodhan, as if, he was making a show, oh, what can I do now? Okay, I'll accept your army, O Krishna. And he was so happy within. And then he went to Balramji. And he offered his obeisances. So Balramji said, no, I won't fight on either side. I tried to convince Krishna to make a truce, but it didn't work. So I'll not fight. So then, and he said, I'll go for pilgrimage. Duryodhan, then he went to Kritavarma, and Kritavarma gave one Akshohini division of his army. And with all that, Duryodhan went back. Now, Arjuna is still there with Krishna. They are talking. Now Krishna asks Arjuna, why did you choose me when I am not going to fight? What will you get? Arjuna said, oh my Lord, if you are there on my side, I don't need anything. Surely I'll be victorious. Because, all power comes from you only. That was the realization of Arjuna. And he is not just speaking. In Bhagavatam it comes that when Krishna, he went back to the spiritual world, Duryodhana went to Dwarka to get the queens of Krishna and, keep them safe. Few infidel, very simple cowherd men came and they defeated Arjuna. And Arjuna, when he went to Yudhishthira, he says, this is the same Gandiva, same chariot, same horses. I am the same warrior, but still I could not defeat this simple cowherd men because my power, which could astonish and astound even the great devatas, is now taken away by Krishna. Whatever I was, it was because of Krishna. He had given those powers and now he had taken them back. Tadvai dhanushtai shavaratho hayaste soham rathe nipatayat tadanamanti sarvam shanena tadabhuda sadishariktam bhasmam hutam kuhakaradamivoptamushyam. What is the use of all these powers? They are taken away. That is the realization of Arjuna. So Arjuna said, he continued, wherever you are, Krishna, victory is guaranteed. He said, I had a long cherished desire that you make that, you should become the charioteer of the chariot of my life. And today it has come true. So please fulfill this one desire of mine. Please become my chariot driver. This is a very, very important lesson. Arjuna is telling, please, Krishna, become the driver of my life. So that is the thing which we have to do. We can make so many plans, but we have to, make Krishna as the guide in our life. We have to understand that if Krishna is guiding my life, for sure I will attain perfection. When we make plans, we forget that we have limited capacity, we have limited intelligence, we have limited power. Many times when we pray to God, we believe in His omnipotence, but we don't believe His omniscience. That means we think, oh God, I have my plan ready, you just execute it. Krishna will say, I have better plans for you. No, no, no. I have used all my intelligence. You don't have to use your intelligence. We don't believe in Krishna's intelligence many times. Arjuna is telling here, you become my chariot driver. You plan for me. And Krishna was very happy because that's what Krishna wants. He wants every one of us to surrender to him because he's like a father who knows what is best for the child. And that is what Krishna, that is what Arjuna is showing, that, oh Krishna, you are my everything. You are everything for me. So please become my chariot driver. Take my chariot wherever you want. So that is the glory of Arjuna. So we'll stop here. We'll continue next time. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Mahabharata ki jai.
Thank you so much. Very enlightening session. Arjun choosing Krishna the way it was explained when there were 10 crores, Prabhuji, you said? 10 crore warriors. And, we are running the materialistic things Maya, which she has to offer. So it was really thank you, Prabhuji. It was really the way it was, although you sometimes know the incidents, but when they are explained like this, then they become, they're really eye-openers. So you mentioned in the beginning about happiness and sadness, and not to reply immediately, not to, you should. So is there some technique to do that? So
actually, I have experienced this in my life. Whenever I am in little angry mood, or I had a clash or discussion or some debate with somebody, and immediately I write some message, and now WhatsApp has a facility, you can delete it. So but many times after sending, I realize, I repent, अरे क्यों भेज दिया इसको, I should not have sent this message. Yeah, people, we learn by our own experience. When we make some mistakes and then we learn, actually we repent many times. So best thing is we learn by hearing, but most of us, we learn by experience. When we make some mistakes and then we realize, अरे नहीं करना चाहिए, that's why it is said that even if you want to send angry message, you write it, but don't send it. Just wait for an hour or 2 hours, and then again you see that message, you will definitely find any zyada ho gaya, nahi, I have written too much, too heavy. So yeah, there is no substitute to experience. And when we are really trying to follow the principles which Bhagavad Gita describes, and then when we pray to Krishna and we follow our spiritual practices, then Krishna also gives that intuition. As Krishna says, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Krishna gives that when he sees that, okay, we are really practicing sincerely. So for sure we will make mistakes. It is no doubt. Where is human? But by these mistakes we should learn. When we write somebody's angry mails or angry messages, or then we'll for sure most of the people they realize ज़्यादा हो गया नहीं ज़्यादा लिख दिया मैं I should not have written all this. So then we should learn from those mistakes. And many people they tell that Prabhuji, we hear so many things, all these anger, you should control anger, but at the spur of the moment it doesn't come to the mind. How to do it? We hear all these anger management and all these things, but when we are angry, all these seminars they don't help us. Yeah, because we are not addressing them at the root cause also. Of course, symptomatic relief is important. Many times people say if you are angry, you breathe, take deep breaths and you count. All these helps. But if you want to remove the problem from the root, you have to take shelter of something which is more powerful. And that is spiritual practice. So of course we have to take shelter of that. We have to take the whatever practical things we are doing, but we should not forget that the most practical thing is to take shelter of spiritual sound vibration and spiritual practices. That will give us a steady foundation. Then we will really become, we will be able to control our emotions and use it for the right purpose. Spiritualist does not mean he'll never become angry. As we know, and one time Prabhupada was in a DT installation and the devotees they made some goof up and Prabhupada was really angry. So he was practically shouting, chastising devotees. And one hippie, he came and he gave bead bag to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, why are you so angry? Chant Hare Krishna and calm down. And Prabhupada took it. He took that bead bag and he chanted one round. So anger can be used and should be used in Krishna consciousness. But how to use anger and when to use anger, many devotees, many disciples of Prabhupada, they tell that Prabhupada, in one moment he would be so angry and other moment he was like as if nothing happened. Practically normal, calm, peaceful. So that is what comes when we are practicing spiritual life, when we are chanting, when we are reading. Then we don't act by our anarthas, our conditionings. We don't react, we respond. We use all the emotions in Krishna's service, and that comes by regular and steady and long practice of spiritual life, Krishna consciousness chanting. That's what when Krishna gives mercy. So that's what we have to try for. Until then, we have to just tolerate our anarthas, tolerate our mistakes. Many times we go into such a bad feeling, thinking that how can I do it? How can I do something like this? We should forgive ourselves. Just relax, because we have our anarthas and we can do so many wrong things. So we don't have to really beat ourselves down. Just understand that okay, I am also a conditioned soul. I am also trying to purify myself. So by that time, we have to just tolerate ourselves like that. Go on. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhupada.